Hi everybody, and welcome back to another MTG openings video. Today we're going to actually have a Commander deck tech. So this is going to be a deck tech for my Rafiq of the Many deck. So Rafiq of the Many is a green, a white, and a blue legendary creature. He has Exalted, so when a creature you control attacks alone, that creature gets +1/+1 until its turn. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike until its turn. He's a 3/3. He's from Shards of Alara, and a little background before I start. I built this deck based around Momentary Blink. If you don't know what that card does, it's a white and 1, and you remove target creature you control from the game, and it comes back, and then immediately comes back into play. It also has a flashback of a blue and 3. So at the time when I built the deck, I had a standard Bant deck, Bant color deck before Bant was a thing actually, and I picked Rafiq because he's a powerful general. He actually doesn't have very much synergy to go along. Since then, the Commander 2013 decks actually had a Blink theme for the Bant colored one. You'll see some of the cards from there in here. I kept it as Rafiq because every time I play it with Rafiq, I only need that one creature. At one point, the deck morphed more towards what you call a Bant good stuff deck. Basically, it meant I had cards in green, white, and blue that were just good and didn't really have a theme. But when the 2030 Commander stuff came back out, I started getting back to the Blink roots. So without further ado, I'm going to go over the deck as it is today. So like I said, the general is Rafiq. I'm just going to leave him up here. First we're going to go over the creatures. So we'll start with Restoration Angel. So it's a good Blink card in itself, so always good to have. These first few are actually the Blink enablers that are creatures. So Restoration Angel, Miss Meadow Witch, Brago King Eternal, so you can flash anything, you can blink anything you want if he hits your opponent. So if he's attacking and it's double strike and exalted, then that's only a bonus. Derivi, Imperial Tactician. So this is one of the generals from the Commander 2013 stuff. I can't use some of her ability, but she has a great end of the battlefield effect, so she stays in anyway. She's also a 2/3 flyer. So Rune of the Hidden Realms, so he's another enabler for exiling creatures into for a blink effect. Moving on, we have a few mana accelerators. You got a Bird of Paradise. This is actually the Magic 2011 Buy a Box promo foil. There's a Noble Hierarch. And now we're moving into the Enter the Battlefield effect creatures. So Fiend Hunter, when he enters the battlefield, you can exile another target creature, and he stays exiled until he comes back. There's a few tricks with some of these triggers, which I'll get into when I get to a few other cards here. Banisher Priest, same thing as Fiend Hunter, but is a 2/2 instead of a 1/3. Mengar of Corando. So Mangara is actually, well, I'll explain the trigger. So when you tap Mangara, you remove her and another target permanent from the game. But when you tap and activate her with her ability on the stack, you can exile her with Momentary Blink or Rune of the Hidden Realms or another effect, and her ability stays on the stack, and the permanent you targeted gets removed, but she comes back at end of turn or right after the effect ends. So it's kind of a broken way to do that. You can actually do that with your Banisher Priest or Fiend Hunters as well. So you can permanently exile you can permanently get rid of permanents doing it that way. So next we're going to do some more Enter the Battlefield effects. Here's a foil Lorwyn Maul Drifter. Messenger Falcons. This came back in when I started going back to the Blink roots. I mean, it draws me a card when it comes back into play. So, and in Commander, 4 mana isn't so bad. Prime Speaker Zagana, a much better version of an Enter the Battlefield effects. Draw a bunch more cards than one with her. Stoneforge Mystic. There are 3 swords in here. We'll get to them later, so if you can reoccur that if you want. Thrag Tusk. So he gives you 5 life when he enters the battlefield, and 3 when he leaves the battle. A 3/3 beast creature when he leaves the battlefield. So another great blink effect. Lexodon Hierarch in there for the life gain. It can also save your creatures if you need it to. Kitchen Finks. This was actually in my Bant standard momentary blink deck at the time, and is a great creature for this deck as well. Snapcaster Mage, with all the spells that blink, some of them only happen once, so Snapcaster Mage helps you recast them. And Suture Priest is the only gain life when creature enters the battlefield effect I have left in the deck, because opponents lose life when they play creatures, so it's a bonus. Now we're on to just the good creatures in the deck. Sarah Ascendant. It's a little broken, obviously. You start at 40 life, so when you play this guy on turn 1 or whenever you want, he has his +5/+5 flying and lifelink already, so he's a little... I'm surprised he's not banned, but hey, when he's not, he's in my deck. Archangel Thune. Phantasmal Image, just in case my opponent plays something I want to copy. Consecrated Sphinx. It's essentially infinite card draw if it can't be removed. Phyrexian Metamorph, good at copying creatures and artifacts. Scavenging Ooze. This is a foil promo Magic 2014 one. Taxis of Meletus, free spell, more spells from your opponent's always good. Knight of the Reliquary. And then Voice of Resurgence. Geist of Saint Traft. Prophet of Krufix is an amazing creature. You have her in play and you get to do all sorts of shenanigans with your mana. Afar, God of Polis. I have so many end of the battlefield effects that I can trigger her on my opponent's turns. This one happens to be foil as well, which is kind of cool. Grand Arbor Augustine IV. Helps your mana, hurts your opponents. I've got all 3 of my lieges, so Thistledown Liege, Murkfiend Liege, another way to untap your creatures, Wiltleaf Liege. Moving on to the artifacts, Solemn Simulacrum. He's got a good end of the battlefield effect, and he's just a good card in general. Soul Ring, because what commander deck is complete without a Soul Ring? Sensei's Divining Top. I guess the same comment could be made for that. I mean, this is the only one I own, so it's only in this deck, but definitely a good card. Isochron Scepter's in to help with your spells you want to recast. This is a Friday Night Magic foil promo one. Here's the first of the 3 swords. Swords of Feast and Famine, Sword of Fire and Ice, and Sword of War and Peace. So those are the 3 I picked. I decided those work the best. They're also pretty strong, so those are the 3 I went with. So now we're on to the blink spells themselves. Turn to Mist, Foil Cloud Shift. Avacyn Restore really helped this deck just because they had so many blink effects. Otherworldly Journey, Liberate, and Momentary Blink. So you'll notice that Flicker is not in the deck anymore. Well, Flicker is a sorcery, so it used to be in the deck, and that's actually the original effect, but it is no longer in. Now we're on to the removal / utility spells. Condemn, Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, Oblivion Ring, Beast Within, Brainstorm, Selesnya Charm, Bant Charm. Now we have a suite of Planeswalkers that you'll see. First is Elspeth Knight Errant. I do like the other Elspeths, but she is the cheapest and her abilities are very powerful. This is a Elspeth versus Tezzeret foil one. Ajani Goldmane. This is one of the on the short list of cards that may get changed for a Planeswalker or for something else. Gideon Jura. Jace the Mind Sculptor. This is the From the Vault 21. Garruk Wildspeaker. And Venser the Sojourner from the Venser vs. Koth deck. So he's a Blink Planeswalker, so of course he has to be in. So next we're going to go over the mana base. So we've got a Mystic Gate, Hollowed Fountain, Adakar Wastes, Sky Cloud Expanse, it's a Flooded Grove, Yavimaya Coast, Breeding Pool, Hinterland Harbor. So this is in instead of another blue-green land because it enters battlefield untapped, and there aren't very many blue-green lands to be honest, so this one makes the cut. Temple Garden, Brushland, Sungrass Prairie. Now we're on to the 3-color lands. Ancient Ziggurat, Command Tower, Mana Confluence. With playing a 3-color deck, you really need some of these tri-colored lands. And I don't like the enter the battlefield effects, or enter the battlefield tapped lands, so you won't see any of those. City of Brass, and then this is a foil reflecting pool. So if you'll notice, this actually is misprinted, but all the foil reflecting pools from Shadowmoor are misprinted. See how it has a plain symbol here? They forgot to take it off the foiling on the page, so it's pretty cool. Now we're on to the utility lands. Maze of Ith doesn't tap for mana, but is amazing. Moorland Haunt helps to remove those troublesome cards from graveyards sometimes, and in a pinch you can get some Mullen Flyers. Nantucket Monastery, Vesuva, this is a From the Vault Realms version. We got the 3 fetch lands, so Windswept Heath, Misty Rainforest, Flooded Strand, 2 of the man lands from Worldwake, Celestial Colonnade, and Stirring Wildwood. Next we have Horizon Canopy, and the last non-basic land is Treetop Village. So this takes place of a forest, as you'll see when I get to the end here. Then I have 4 plains, one of each of the full art Zendikar ones. 4 islands. Always good to have those basic lands for Path to Exiles and a few other effects. Plus Solemn Simulacrum, among other things. And then 3 forests, also 4 Zendikar lands. So that's the deck. If you like my videos and want to see more Commander deck techs, be sure to like and subscribe and leave any comments below. Thanks for watching.